Hi everybody, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Abby, and it's been a little while since I've been able to film one of these classes, so I'm really excited to be back and to guide you through this practice today. And we are continuing our journey through the yamas, and we are on to Asteya, which roughly translated means non-stealing. And something that I'm really passionate about, something that I love, is to look at the yoga observances and then just find ways that they relate to our daily life and ways that we can bring them off the mat and ways that benefit us as well from day to day. So it might be really subtle things, but hopefully over the course of your practice, you may start to notice just little differences, hopefully leading us ultimately towards that calmer, that more compassionate and that happier way of being. So with Asteya, talking about non-stealing, aside from the obvious, we know that we shouldn't be stealing things, hopefully. Aside from that, there's lots of different interpretations, lots of ways that you can hopefully make it relate to your life, your practice. So for me, one of the ones I like is non-stealing of other people's and your own time. So being maybe just a little bit more thoughtful in how we use our own time, and also it could be one of these things if we're someone that's late a lot, or if we know someone that's late a lot, being a little bit more mindful of just being a little bit kinder and, you know, valuing everyone's time. Another way to look at it may be in your practice, non-stealing of your own practice and your own joy. So as you move through this class today, which it is going to be quite dynamic, just noticing those thought patterns that happen. If you tend to get a little bit frustrated with yourself, that really is only you taking away from your own practice. So if you can try, not easy all the time, if you can try and just guide the mind back to the breath and just really try and enjoy every little moment of your practice. You're not going to love every posture. You can feel free to skip those postures, or you can breathe through them and just try and stay in this moment and believe that wherever you are today is exactly where you're meant to be, and take just what you need, what you can from this practice. So I will talk about it a little bit more as we go through, but let's get started because I talk way too much. We're going to begin lying on our back today. If you have a block, always really useful. If not, don't worry. But whenever you're ready, take your time and I will come to meet you on the mat. Okay, so if you haven't already, find that comfortable position on your back. Eyes softly closed. Feel free to take any little movements, any fidgets, and then allow yourself to come to stillness. Let's begin here today with a big releasing breath together in your own time. Take that inhale through the nose and sigh it out. With that sigh, allowing the body to soften, to relax. And knowing that this time you've taken today is completely your time. As we arrive here, see if you can start to leave your worries, your distractions at the door. Again, not something that's easy. But as always, we just practice. We work on noticing when those distracting thoughts come in. And then just see if you can let them go. Draw your attention to your breath. The breath is our constant, something that is always there, always with us. Not only is it an indication of how we might be feeling, we can also use and utilize that breath by slowing the breath. We can in turn start to calm the mind, the body. And it is such a powerful yet underused tool that we all have. So now just start to take deeper breaths there. Taking those big inhales. And you can exhale either out the nose or out the mouth. Filling up the chest, the lungs, the belly, and then let it all go. And again, coming back to our theme of Asteya today, of non-stealing, think of ways today as we move. You can really, really fully be present in your practice. So every time the mind drifts, and it will inevitably happen, guide yourself back. Feel those sensations in body, in breath. And again, bring it back to using your time in this beneficial, this productive way. Okay, one more releasing breath together. When you're ready, inhale through the nose. And sigh it out. Start to invite gentle movement into fingers, into toes. And then next time you inhale, reach the arms above the head. You can gently flutter the eyes open if you'd like to, or keep them closed. Point the toes, take a big full body stretch. Then stay for the exhale. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, release the hands by the sides of the body and then just draw the soles of the feet down to the mat. We're going to start with our hip opener today. So crossing that right ankle over the left, just above the knee. Firstly, just gently encourage the right knee out from this hip space. Flex the right toes, the right foot. And if that feels like enough for you today, stay there, or alternatively reach up, interlace the hands either behind the thigh or over the shin. And to begin, just take a gentle rock side to side. Notice how the hips, the outer hips, the glutes are feeling today. And then when you do come to stillness, see if you can just gently move the knee, the foot over slightly to the left. So we increase that sensation through the outer right hip and glute. Taking a few deep breaths, lower back is rooted down into your mat, and as you exhale, maybe gently drawing knees towards you. And one more breath in, one more breath out. And then keeping that cross of the legs, we're going to lower the left foot down to the mat, taking the arms out wide or cactus, depending on your space. Take a big breath in. And then exhale to lower the right foot across to the left. So we come into a twist. Maybe dropping head to the right. And just breathe into that right side body. You could keep the right knee lifted to continue the stretch through the right outer hip, thigh and glute. Or you can begin to lower the knee down to really just take the stretch a bit more into the waist, into the spine. Again, just taking a few deep breaths. And then next time you inhale, come back to center. Release the right foot down, release the hands by the sides, and we'll just switch to the other side. So crossing that left ankle over just above the knee. Firstly, encourage the left knee out, and you can use the hand to do that. Flex the left toes. Again, that might feel like enough for you today, or you could reach up and interlace the hands behind thigh, over the shin, flexing both the feet. We start with that gentle rock from side to side. And then as we come to stillness, see if you can gently edge the knee and the foot over slightly more to the right. And just notice how that changes or increases the sensation through that right side. A few deep breaths, maybe pulling that knee towards us. Last one there. And then lowering the right foot down with the legs still crossed. Reach the arms out wide, or cactus, as we start to drop the left foot across to the right into that twist. Maybe head the opposite way. And again, you choose what to do with that left knee. The more you push it out, the more you increase the stretch down the outer hip. Or you could allow it to drop slightly. You could do a combination of the two. Calmly breathing in, bring it all the way back to center, and this time let's hug the knees into chest. Take a little rock from side to side. And then taking the hands behind the thighs, we take that rock forwards and backwards. Get a few rocks there so you've got that momentum. And then coming all the way, either cross-legged or sweep legs around into your tabletop. So stepping the knees back, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And let's start with just a little bit of intuitive movement. So it might be that you kind of move circular. You might come straight into your cat-cows. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale to reverse. You could even keep those circular as well. So maybe close the eyes if it feels good to, and just explore how the body's feeling today. And as always with our yoga practice, especially, it should be the same in a studio class, but especially at home, we can really allow ourselves to explore, to do things that maybe don't even look like yoga, and just move into the body in any way that feels good. Taking a couple more breaths. And then let's come to meet in this neutral position. So making sure that hands are underneath the shoulders, gripping the mat with the fingertips, push down through your base knuckles. Tuck the toes under, take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, we hover the knees off the mat, coming into our little hold. Just a few inches if we can. Take one more breath in. And then as you exhale, wave the body up to your downward facing dog. We are going to pedal, but not just yet. So inhale, roll forward. We come back into that hold, hovering the knees. Really dome through the back. Exhale, wave the body back, downward facing dog. 2 more there. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Find that hold. And then exhale, wave it back. This time we take a few breaths in our downward facing dog. So again, move however feels good. So maybe it's really big pedals of the feet. Maybe it's coming all the way forward, all the way back. Maybe a shake of the head. And again, just taking a few breaths to check in with every new movement we do. So backs of the legs, the ankles. And then in your own time, finding that stillness. So pushing down through hands, rooting through base knuckles. Really wrap the triceps in and think about lengthening through sides of the waist and pushing the weight back. You can have that bend in the knees. You can have the heels lifted. We're just looking to really lengthen through upper body and keep that weight, rather than a little bit more forward, pushing that weight back. Take a big breath in and let it go. Inhale, looking forward, come high onto the toes. And then at the end of your exhale, we step forward right foot, step forward left foot. Feet about hips width to begin. Take an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale, root to rise, coming all the way to standing, ripple up through the spine. Take the arms above the head. And then exhale, hands through heart center. Release the hands, finding your Tadasana. Let's take a moment there, maybe bringing one hand to belly, one hand to chest. Softly close the eyes. Tune back into that slow, steady breath. And again, just a reminder to yourself, this is completely your practice to move in any way that feels beneficial. And to know that just by being here today, just by taking the time, that is enough, no matter what we do, what we choose to do or not do. You are using your time, again, in this valuable, this beneficial way for you. Okay, let's start to flow. As you inhale, eyes open, arms lift. Exhale to dive it down, hips back, chest forward. Inhale, chest lifts. And then exhale, we're going to plant the hands, step the right foot to the back of the mat and lower the back knee. Inhale, coming into your low lunge. You might want to stagger the feet slightly. And then exhale there. First variation, have a little squeeze through the glute and a tilt forward. So we get this little bit of a lot of a stretch through the front of the right hip flexor. Maybe into the right quad. Take one more breath in to lengthen. And then as you exhale, taking the hands behind the back, interlace the hands. Inhale to lift the chest. And then exhale, maybe starting to ease forward, just as far as feels like the right amount of stretch for you. So keeping the chest lifted, see if you can gently push the knuckles down that right leg. A little squeeze of inner thighs. Again, making sure we don't drop the head too far. That breath is free and easy. One more there. And then as you breathe in, come back to that neutral position, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Lift the back knee, take the left leg back to your downward facing dog. Take an inhale, optional vinyasa as you roll the body forward. Exhale, either on knees or through chaturanga. We lower one straight line. Inhale, roll the shoulders back for your cobra or up dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes, wave it back, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, look towards the top of your mat, step the right foot towards the right thumb, lower the back knee. Inhale for that low lunge again. First variation, that little squeeze through the glutes. Push that left hip slightly forward. Squeeze in through the inner thighs as well. Take one more breath in. And then to exhale, take the hands behind the back. Now, if you can, switch the interlace if you can remember which one, but don't worry too much. Inhale, chest lifts. And then exhale, easing into that space. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, again, moving into that space. Chest lifts, a little squeeze of that left glute as well. So it's active, and again, not necessary to kind of really fling the head back, just bring it to a place. Maybe the gaze is slightly up, but a place where the breath, again, is easy. Last one there. Inhale, come back to that neutral position, your low lunge. This time as you exhale, take the hands down, look forward, and we're going to step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to standing, reach the arms up. And then as you exhale, we take it straight back down, dive it down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, we lift halfway. And then exhale, plant the hands. This time the left foot steps back and we lower the back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up. And as you exhale, hands to heart center in your low lunge. Inhale there. And then exhale to twist to the right. Firstly, staying upright, so we're in this active twist, using the obliques, the core to twist us round. And then from there, you can stay where you are, or you could hook the left elbow over that right knee and maybe get a little bit more leverage for your twist. Final variation would be to lift the back knee. If you have lifted, really pushing through the back heel, and again, this right glute is probably feeling something right about now. It's a little squeeze of the inner thighs. And then with each breath, see if you can move just a little bit more into that twist. One more there. And then everybody looking down towards your mat. Plant the hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Again, take a breath in. And then maybe a vinyasa, Again, your choice. Feel free to skip the vinyasas if you are taking them really nice and slow, moving with your breath. As you inhale into your cobra or up dog, a roll back of the shoulders. And then exhale, wave it back, downward facing dog. Big breath in, big breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step in the left foot towards the left thumb, lower the back knee. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Stay for the inhale. And then exhale to twist actively towards the left. Again, feel the obliques, the core, you feel that's using them to get into that twist rather than the more passive twist to begin. Again, option to stay there, or that right elbow maybe hooks over left knee. And then that other variation, if you would like it, you can lift the back knee and push through the back heel. A little squeeze into the glutes, and then focus on breathing into your twist. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, lowering the hands, and then this time right foot steps to meet the left to the top of your mat. Inhale, breathe. Inhale, breathe in, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Root to rise all the way up to standing. Reach the arms up. And then bring in the hands to heart center. And then release by the sides, Tadasana. Again, just a moment to reset, to tune back in with your breath. Okay, as you inhale, eyes open, Utkatasana. So either feet hips width or big toes touching. A little roll back of the shoulders if you can. And we want that neutral pelvis here, so not too much sticking out, not too much tucking in. Try and find that neutral position, and then maybe we go sit a little lower into our chair. Option to stay there, or find in your drishti, your gazing point, coming on to the toes, lifting the heels. One more breath. Inhale, if you've got the heels lifted, we see if we can keep them lifted as we start to come into our fold. So coming all the way down, nice and slow. And then when the hands land, lower the heels. Take an inhale, lift the chest. And then exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot to the back of the mat. And then inhale, sweep the right leg high, 3-leg dog. As you exhale, bend into right knee and open into the hip. Try and keep shoulders squared as best you can and trying to keep the weight equal between both hands. So it's likely we're going to want to tilt a little to the left. Try and push down through right hand and then lift from that right hip. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. Inhale, right knee lifts a little higher. And then exhale, we're going to try and take right knee and tap the left elbow or left tricep. Find that twist. Inhale, lift. Open the hip. Exhale to tap. Inhale, lift. One more. Exhale, take it across the body. See if we can get that tap. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, square off the hips. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, right foot steps towards the right thumb. Inhale, coming into your high lunge. Reach the arms up, a little roll back of the shoulders. And just as we did in that low lunge, see if you can get a slight tilt of the pelvis. You can bend in the back knee if that feels better, or you can push through the back heel and squeeze into left glute. Inhale to lengthen. And then exhale, we take our twist, left arm forward, right arm back. So we twist to the right. You could keep the gaze forward, or if you want a little more balance challenge, you can look towards that back hand. Legs are super active. Squeeze the inner thighs. One more breath. Inhale, high lunge, sweep that right arm forward. And then exhale, open it out, warrior two. Moving the feet wherever you need to. Rolling the shoulders back. Gently opening into right hip so we can just about see the right big toe and that knee's not coming in. Take one more breath, maybe going a little lower if it feels okay. And then inhale, flip the front palm, reach forward. Exhale, reverse Trikonasana, so straighten right leg. And then reach the right arm up. Length through right side body. Maybe the gaze is up. One more inhale. And then exhale, legs stay as they are. Come all the way forward and we'll find this active variation of Trikonasana. If that doesn't feel good for you today, you could rest the right hand or keep the arms out long. Again, working into the obliques. Try not to tilt into it. Try and open the chest. One more breath. Inhale, this time reverse warrior. So take it back as we bend into right knee. Reach the right arm all the way up. One more breath in. And then exhale, take the hands down, framing that right foot. Either straight to downward dog or take your vinyasa of choice. You could keep the right leg lifted as we lower. Or any variation, again, that allows you to stay connected to the breath and feels beneficial to your body. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Again, a moment just to reset. And then inhale, look forward. Exhale, soften the knees. You could take a few little steps or a jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, lifts the chest halfway. Exhale, Uttanasana into your fold. Inhale, root to rise. Roll the body up. Reach the arms at the top. And this time, exhale, we come straight to Utkatasana. So start to bend into the knees. As always, this is very dependent on lots of things, including the ankles, which I really struggle with. That little tilt of the pelvis, so we're not exaggerating that, but we have a tendency maybe to stick it out a little bit, so pull it in. And then same option as before, if you would like a little more, you could come onto the toes, maybe this time lifting the heels really high. Find your drishti, your gazing point. One more breath in. And then exhale, start to straighten the legs. Maybe keep the heels lifted as we come into our fold. And as the hands land, the heels land. Inhale, chest lifts halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, right foot steps to the back of the mat. Inhale, sweep the left leg high. And then exhale, bend into left knee and open the hip. Again, try and root down through that left hand as much as the right. Try and keep the shoulders squared, and that movement comes from the hip. Take a few breaths there. One more inhale to lift that left knee a little higher. And then exhale, can we bring left knee towards the right tricep across the body? Doesn't matter if it gets there. Good. Inhale, send it back, open into the hip. Exhale, left knee comes across. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bring it across. And then this time, inhale, lift and open the hip. And then exhale, square off the hip, so left toes point down towards the mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, as best we can, step in the left foot towards the left thumb. High lunge as you breathe in. Reach the arms up. Take a moment there to find your balance and to get into the shape. Squeeze the inner thighs. A little tilt through that right pelvis. This side is super wobbly for me. Roll the shoulders back. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, twist to the left. So right arm forward, left arm back. Again, you could choose to look forward, side, or over that back hand. What we want to avoid is leaning too far forward. So see if you can keep the chest lifted and upright, using that power through the legs. Last breath. Inhale, high lunge. Reach that left arm forward. Exhale, open it out into your warrior two. And again, you might need to shift the feet slightly. Checking in with that left knee. Just make sure you can just about see your left big toe. Open into the hips, roll the shoulders back. And then gaze over that front middle finger. One more breath. Maybe we go a little bit lower. Good, inhale. And then exhale, flip the palm, reach, reverse Trikonasana. Send that left arm up and over, length all the way from the left toes to left fingertips. Stretch through left side body. One more breath in to lengthen. Exhale, we take that active Trikonasana, so you reach the left arm forward and then bring the right arm by the right ear. Again, option is to lower the bottom hand. Try and keep the chest open. Feel into all those little shakes. One more breath. Inhale, reverse warrior. So we come all the way up, bend into left knee, open into left side body. Stay for the exhale. One more inhale to lengthen. And then exhale to take it down, either through your vinyasa, any variation, or straight back to your downward facing dog. And we all come to meet there. Take a moment again to catch the breath. Maybe take a releasing breath. Inhale, sigh it out. On your next inhale, wave the body forward, find your high plank. Hold for a breath, really pushing down through fingertips, through the knuckles, little dome into the back as we push up through the shoulders. And then a few options for this next bit. So we're going to come into a right side plank. So inhale, exhale, come onto your right side. Either stagger the feet and lift the left arm, or you could lower the bottom knee. Whichever variation you are in, try and push up through that right hand and push up through the hips. Breathe in there. You could take that left arm overhead if that feels good. One more inhale. And then exhale, release left hand down to the mat. Inhale, find in your high plank. And exhale, take it to the left. Again, either variation. Pushing the hips up, either feet are stacked or we've lowered that bottom knee. You could reach the arm overhead. Feel into all those little shakes. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Lower the right hand down to the mat. Inhale into your high plank. And then exhale, either lowering the knees or we lower in one straight line on the toes. We come all the way down to our mat. You might need to shuffle back a little bit. Untuck the toes and just for a moment, take the hands underneath the forehead and take a little shift of the hips from side to side. Okay, this isn't many people's favourite back bend, I'll be honest, but this is one that is just super beneficial. So just as always, taking it as far, again, as feels good for your body today. So slide in the hands underneath the shoulders, push down through the toes, squeeze into the glutes and squeeze the front of the legs through the quads. Maybe even the quads lift or the thighs lift. Take an inhale there. And then gently start to peel the chest off the mat and then hover the hands. Option would be to also hover the feet. Keep the gaze slightly down and forward as we squeeze into the glutes. With each breath, using the back muscles to maybe lift a little higher. One more there. And then lower all the way down to your mat. Take a little shift through the hips. Tuck the toes under, push back. Take a moment to pause, bring in the sit bones towards the heels. Maybe taking a gentle sway from side to side. And then in your own time, let's roll the body forward. And we meet back in our downward facing dog. And take an inhale, come high onto the toes. Exhale, look forward. Take a step, hop or jump towards the top of your mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise. Roll up all the way to standing. Reach the arms up. This time, as we come into our Utkatasana, bringing the big toes together, a little bit of space between the heels and then come down. It's just going to make this next variation hopefully a little bit more accessible. But if you want to stay in this variation, your Utkatasana, stay here. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale there. And then exhale, twist to the right. Option, hooking that left elbow over the right knee. Try and keep the sit bones moving down. Watch out for that left knee. It's going to want to creep forward. And then as you inhale, come back to Utkatasana. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Stay for an inhale. And then exhale, twist to the left. Hooking that left elbow over the right knee. And again, just have a quick glance. Make sure that right knee isn't edging forward. See if you can bring the weight into the heels. Lift the chest. So think about that locust shape again. A little bit of lifting through the chest. One more breath. Inhale, Utkatasana, reach the arms up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, chest lifts halfway. Exhale, step back with the left foot, and then inhale, reach the right leg high, 3-leg dog. Exhale, bend into right knee, open the hip. Stay for the inhale, and then exhale. This time, right knee towards left tricep, fallen triangle. So you could lower the knee down, come onto the full back foot and lift the hand, or you could thread the foot through. So the pinky toe side of the right foot is on the mat, the full back foot is on the mat, and then we squeeze and lift through the glutes, lift the chest. Again, take those big deep breaths. One more there. Inhale. Exhale, left hand comes down to the mat. Inhale, sweep the right leg high. And then exhale, look forward, step it towards the top of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms up, high lunge, moving a little quicker now. Exhale, straight to your warrior two, open the arms out. Inhale, flip the palm, reverse Trikonasana, take that right arm all the way up. Stay for the exhale, stay for the inhale. Exhale, Trikonasana, reach it forward. This time, either staying in your Trikonasana or look down, bend into right knee. You might want to grab your block for this. Reach the right fingertips forward, about a foot ahead and to the right of the right foot for Ardha Chandrasana or half moon. Flex the left toes and then open into the hip. Take your time. It might take a few goes, a few steps. One more breath. And then everybody, lower the left foot and the left hand down to your mat. Again, you might want your block here. We're going to stretch into that right glute down the right IT band. So you're going to pop your block in front of the left foot. Start to bend into left knee as much as feels, again, the right amount of stretch in that right leg. And then inhale to peel the right arm up and open. You could stay there, or you could take the right hand behind into your bind, reaching around the waist or towards that left leg. The more you bend into your left leg, again, the more you're going to feel this stretch all the way down the right side. Final breath there. And then unravel, just pop your block towards the top of your mat. Take an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, plant the hands, option to jump, step, move through your vinyasa, or head straight back to your downward facing dog. Again, when you arrive there, just one breath to settle. And then inhale, coming high onto the toes, gaze forward, bend the knees. The end of your exhale, you come to the top of your mat for a step or a jump. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way up. And then exhale, Utkatasana. Again, maybe bringing big toes together with that little space between the heels this time. Okay, another option. Take an inhale there. And then exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, chest stays lifted. Exhale, we take that twist towards the right. Maybe you take the same variation we did last time. We stay here breathing into that twist, or you're going to look down towards the mat. Come onto the left toes so the weight comes into the right foot. Squeeze the inner thighs and the knees together, and then maybe lift that left leg into this little flamingo variation. You could stay there, or you could have a go at extending the left leg behind you. One more breath. If you lifted the leg, begin to lower as controlled as we can. And then inhale, let's all come to meet back in that Utkatasana. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale to lift through the chest. Exhale to twist to your left. And again, maybe we stay there. You might still be in that Utkatasana. Again, have a check-in with the breath. If you would like to look down towards the mat, you come onto the right toes, weight is into the left foot. Squeezing the inner thighs and the knees together. Maybe you point the right toes behind you, keeping the bend in the left leg. And then that other variation, you could have a go at extending the right leg behind you whilst in your twist. Wherever you are, if we can, one more breath. And then let's all come to meet. If you lifted the leg lower down, take an inhale, Utkatasana, last one of this practice. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lifts the chest halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. Step the right foot back. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, bend into left knee, open the hip. Stay for an inhale. And again, fallen triangle as you exhale. If you would like it, left knee towards the right tricep, either lowering the knee or lowering the outer foot. Spin the back heel down and then reach the right arm up. Squeeze through the glutes. Opening into the chest. Holding it there, last breath. Take an inhale, expand. Exhale, right hand down towards the mat. Inhale, sweeps the left leg high. And then exhale, left foot towards the top of your mat. Inhale, high lunge. Find that balance. Exhale, open it out into your warrior two. Inhale, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse Trikonasana as you straighten through left leg. Lengthen through left side body, one breath here. Inhale. Exhale, come forward, your choice, either coming into your Trikonasana, maybe you stay there for a few breaths, or you look down towards the mat, soften into left knee. Again, maybe placing your left hand on a block, about a foot ahead and to the left of the left foot. It might take a few little steps, or one step, to come into your Ardha Chandrasana. Start by looking down. The left foot is going to probably be moving all over the place. Try and keep it connected and facing forward. And then from there, step by step, maybe start to open into right hip, maybe flex the right foot to point outwards. And then once we find a little bit of balance, maybe we start to shift the gaze. That's an option I find quite hard. Any variations that you would like to play with as well. We're here for just maybe 1-2 more breaths. Okay, everybody release the right foot, release the right hand. Let's stretch through that left glute, through the IT band. So placing the block, if you're using it in front of the right foot, start to bend into right knee. Inhale, lift the left arm high and maybe stay there, or you could take it into your bind. Maybe that gaze goes up. And again, play around with the shape. The more you bend into that right knee, the more you will probably feel that stretch in the left outer hip and glute. Final breath. Then everybody unravel, just pop that block to the front of your mat. Take an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, optional Vinyasa. Either jump, step back, or make your way back to your downward facing dog. Hold it there. Let's take a big releasing breath again. We're almost there. So take an inhale through the nose and let it go. Okay, one more round. Inhale, roll the body forward. Left side, side plank as you exhale. So again, same variation as before. The options are all there. You could lower the bottom knee, squeeze into the hips, lift a little higher if you can. You could hover the top leg as well if you're in this, if you're on the version where you're on the foot. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, start to lower the left hand. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, right side, coming onto the pinky toe or that bottom knee. And again, feel free to have a play around with variations. One more breath. And then lower that left hand down to the mat. Come into your high plank. Take an inhale there. Exhale, lower all the way down to your mat with control if you can. Untuck the toes. And again, take a moment just to bring the hands underneath the forehead and release through the hips. So a little wiggle through the hips, release into lower back. You've got the option to come into our Shalambhasana variation or a locust variation that we did the first round, where I'm going to give you an option to add on. And so taking the hands underneath the shoulders. Again, take a big breath in as we lift through the chest, pull the shoulders back, gaze stays down, option to lift the feet, and then we lift the hands. Maybe you stay there, or you're going to inhale, reach the arms forward, try and bring them by the ears. Exhale, pull back, lift the chest. Inhale, forward. If you've got the legs lifted, squeeze glutes. Exhale, pull back, lift the chest. Two more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, maybe a little higher. Last one, inhale forward, exhale back, hold it there if you can for a moment as you squeeze into the inner thighs, the glutes, the chest. One more breath in, and exhale, release. Take a little shake through the hips and then no rush, but when you're ready, tucking the toes under, push the sit bones back towards the heels. Feel free to just move into the hip space, a little shake from side to side. And then coming into our downward facing dog, option to take it through your final vinyasa if you would like it. If you're taking that vinyasa nice and slow the breath. We all come to meet back in our downward facing dog. Then we're going to look forward. You can take a few little steps. If you'd like to work on your jump throughs, maybe sliding the hands slightly more towards you. Inhale to come high onto the toes. And a good little tip as well for jump throughs. If you're still kind of not ready to jump through, you could step one foot, right foot to the left wrist, left foot to the right wrist, and then sit down. Or just see how far you get, but we jump, cross the legs, and then maybe sweep them through. Come into seated. Oh, take a moment, catch the breath. And then from there, we're just going to extend your right leg out to the side. It's a little bit wider than our Janu Shasana. We're going to take the right hand towards the inside of the right leg. Take an inhale to lift the left arm. And then exhale, coming into your side bend. You could bring the hand behind the head. You could reach towards the foot. Try and keep the chest open. What we're not looking to do for this variation really is come on to dome the back. We want to try and keep and find the stretch down the left side of the waist. Nice breath. Inhale, sweep that left arm all the way up and behind you. And then exhale to twist towards your left. So right hand maybe comes to the left thigh. Keep the chest lifted. And And then slowly unravel, take the hands behind. We're just going to switch the legs, so tucking the right leg in, extend the left leg out towards the side, bring the left hand to the inside of your left leg. Take an inhale, reach the right arm up, and then exhale to find your side bend. Either hand behind the head, you could keep it lifted, or you could reach towards the toes. But again, the focus is on finding a stretch down the right side body, so wherever that is for you. And as we start to slow down in the practice, this may be the time that those distracting thoughts come back in. But again, just remembering that we've just got a few minutes left of our us time. There's lots of time to think after this. So try and gently draw the attention back to your breath. Inhale, come up through center, take the right hand behind, and then exhale to twist towards your right. Maybe that left hand comes on the right thigh. And then unraveling, reach the legs out long. We're going to come all the way down onto our back. So reach the arms forward, slowly, slowly, just roll it back. Once you arrive there, take the arms out wide, bring the feet to the edges of your mat, and then just gently drop the knees from side to side. And then shifting onto your left hip, let's drop the knees across to the left. You could either keep knees together or cross the right leg over. Release the left shoulder from underneath you, so actually pick up the shoulder and move it slightly to the left. Maybe cactus or extend the arms. Maybe drop the head to the right. Might feel good now to close the eyes as we start to ease ourselves towards the end of the practice, towards our Shavasana. Feel the breath and the heart rate slow down. Inhale, when you're ready, back through center. Shifting onto the right hip, drop the knees to the right, and again, just lift up the right shoulder, move it slightly more to the right of your mat. You can have knees together or any variation of a twist, again, that just feels like a nice release into your back. And then when you're ready, slowly back to center, taking any final movements, stretches or wiggles that your body needs. And then it can be quite tempting to rush off. But if you do have time, please just do take these just a few moments. We're not going to be here for too long in our Shavasana. So whenever you're ready, coming all the way back down to your mat. Maybe legs are as wide as your mat. Maybe you bring the feet to the edges with the knees in. Your constructive rest. And again, just as we began, softly close the eyes, take a big breath in through the nose and release. As we rest here for the final minute or two, we come back to our theme of non-stealing. And it may be that some of this resonates with you, it may be that it doesn't. As always, you just take what does and just leave whatever doesn't. But we take a moment to appreciate that we have given ourselves this time away from screens, from phones that can often steal our attention. So appreciate yourself for showing up today, for dedicating this time to your practice. Now just give yourself a moment to fully rest, to consciously let go. Okay, as always, please, if you do have time, stay in your Shavasana. If you would like to move on with your day, start to find deeper breaths. Inviting that gentle movement into the body, a wiggle of fingers, of toes, any stretches that feel nice. As we move off the mat today, see if you can take with you some of these lessons, or even just some of this calm that you've cultivated. Our practice does not end here. There's so many benefits in our daily life. When you're ready, either rolling onto your side or however you would like to get there, come into seated as we close our practice together. Keeping the eyes closed for the final few moments, or just lower your gaze if you prefer. When you arrive seated, bringing the hands together at heart center in Anjali Mudra. Gently lower the head down towards the fingertips. One final releasing breath. Inhale through the nose. Sigh it out. Bringing the thumbs to the third eye, that space between the eyebrows. Again, reminding us today to move off our mat and think only with kindness to ourselves and as much as possible to those around us. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice today. As always, your feedback is so welcome, and I love to hear how you find these classes. Please do take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, hopefully I'll get back to much regular filming. But wherever you are, have a lovely rest of your day or evening, and I will see you again very soon. Thank you.